Welcome to the race by race preview for Happy Valley on Wednesday night. 9 races on the B+2. Paul's tipping all the beauty horses. Lally is here to guide us through the race by races as well. And the first gets underway at 6:40 with a Class 5. Stormtrooper is on the class drop. Young Horizon has the hood off. Circuit Elite's a 3-time course and distance winner. Regency Happy Star has finally drawn a gate. Brilliant Pioneer pacifiers with the cowls off. Dashing Glory is minus the hood. And Viva Allah comes back from the 1800 to the 1650. Looking at the pace here, Paul, and it's Viva Allah, 1650, 1000, 1200, 1800. It doesn't matter. He goes forward.
He does, doesn't he? He can lead over all the distances, so he should be in front. Circuit Elite can be a little bit iffy in the start, but if he jumps well, he'll be right there. Dashing Glory, now he's the query horse because he's, again, up. He's another one, 12, 1400 metre sort of runner, or even 1000 metre, and he's up to 1650 for the first time. Charming Steed likes to put himself on the race, as does Young Horizon.
Our first replay is the horse on the class drop at Stormtrooper. Paul, he's been largely disappointing, having just won from 34. He's run home so many times. He's placed 10 times, £135, barrier number 1. How do you see him in this race?
I quite like him. I mean, look, he's lost 22 pounds. I don't think that's a bad thing for this horse. Nick can let us know on Wednesday. But look, he's really strides home nicely here. He's one off 50. He's rated 40, I think. He's downgraded. This is his chance.
All right, and Simply Maverick, who won that race, has won again since. Off we go to the all-weather. Charming Steed second. Now the 11 and the 12 against Regency Happy Star and Big 2. Regency Happy Star has drawn barrier number 3 with Zach on, and Big 2 loves the Valley over the 1650.
Yeah, so I think it's a forget run for both those two. They just weren't suited in this particular race. Charming Steed was, and he ran really well. He's drawn wide. He might just have to do it a bit tough. He doesn't win out of turn, Charming Steed, so he's very hard to catch. He's had 8 seconds from his 35 starts, though, so, you know, he's one you could include on a minor line, but he's hard to have on a win line with just that one win.
And that is Chiron winning that race. He also runs at this meeting on Wednesday. We'll see him in race number 3. But one more to have a look at, Paul. It's Nice Birdie, who's a busy horse. He's on a backup from the 31st of January, so a 7-day backup and coming back in trip.
Yeah, so I don't know about him. I mean, again, he's just a one-time winner from his 19 starts. He's been racing over 2200 his last couple. He's way back to 1650. I'm not sure if that's a good thing for him or not. Nice Birdie. Look, he did win over this trip though, so I suppose that's one thing that is positive. It was a real fast pace that day, and he came off that and won. Look, yeah, I'm not sure from a wide draw with him either.
Okay, we'll just leave him where he is. Who is in for the first?
Going to go with Stormtrooper though. I think downgraded, 10 rating points behind his last win. Regency Happy Star and Big 2 come into that same race. And Brilliant Pioneer, he's been racing at Sharton. I think he's a lot better served at Happy Valley. 1, 6, 9 and 4.
It could be all the ones. Stormtrooper, race 1, number 1, drawn barrier 1, looking to give Lyle Hewitson winner number 100 in Hong Kong. And race number 2, we have a scratching. There's going to be a chance in the race 2 on what he's done recently, but race 2, number 5, Mr. Aladdin, is out. It's over 2200 metres and is a Class 4. Precise Express has his first look at the distance. Wonder Years doesn't. He's a 3-time course and distance winner. Both Romantic Fantasy and Serangoon ran on last time. Running ahead goes up to the 2200 metres. Jubilation's placed 2 from 4 course and distance. We've got Ready Player 1 with the pacifiers and cowls off, Visor going back on, and Palace Pal on a 7-day backup from running 8th last week behind Golden Ferry. Happy Hero ran 2nd in the same race. Pace here, Paul. Jubilation straight to the top. Yeah, look, he doesn't look like too much of a sort of a horse that, he's a horse that likes to lead, and there doesn't look like too much competition for him, so he should go forward. Running ahead has drawn the inside. Precise Express can go forward as well. He's up in trip. A Romantic Fantasy. I don't think it's going to be an overly fastly run race, but one thing I think we'll know is that Wonder Years will be back, and at some stage he'll take off. Funny you should mention that. Here is Keegan DeMello, who's going to partner Wonder Years. Keegan, can you tell us what it's like to actually ride Wonder Years over 2200 metres?
Look, he breaks your back the first half of the race, and he's just very difficult to ride in those early parts, and you just got to get him into a good rhythm and hope he's got enough to sustain it towards the end.
He's raced well at both tracks, but certainly around Happy Valley. Is it the bends that makes him think, or what is it about the Valley where he seems to grow a leg?
I don't know. It's just you would think that it would be a lot harder for him at the Valley, but he seems to enjoy it a little bit more. I think the pace at the 2-2, they sort of ease it up a little bit, and you manage to get him onto the bridle a little bit more, and that seems to help. And yeah, he seems to be running well at the moment. Just nice to get back aboard him, and just hopefully he runs to his best again.
You've had 2 rides for a win and a place, so he has been good to you. Is he a horse you talk tactics with Douglas on, or you just can't?
No, you just can't. You got to just you got to run the race as it pans out, and if they ease the pace, you sort of got to try and make a move. If not, if the pace is genuine, you can sort of ride a race on him, and you just got to get going a little bit earlier. And yeah, he seems to be running well, like I said.
Same deal when it comes to looking at barriers. Do you even look what you're drawn apart from knowing what gate you have to move into?
Yeah, definitely not. You don't look at barriers. The barriers are the last of your concern. The concern is trying to get out of them. But yeah, I think he's holding his form well.
There he is, Keegan DeMello, talking Wonder Years Paul. He's in the first replay. We just saw it there at the end of the interview too. This was over 2,000 metres at Sha Tin, but they ran this at absolutely cracking pace, and those up the front all dropped off. Those at the back all ran on. They just went too fast for Wonder Years early, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They all went really quick in this race. So it was Nicholson Returns had the race perfectly set up for him. But I thought it was a good run from Sharp and Bright. He looks a real star, and he'd been running on before this as well. And Romantic Fantasy was a better run from him, probably the best we've seen from him since he's been in Hong Kong. So, look, these two, I think they're legitimate chances.
That's our first replay. The second one, what about Serangoon? He was a horse that is well back turning for home. Palace Pal has raced since. And Precise Express, he has won at Happy Valley over the 1,800 metres from 7 attempts around the Valley. Unknown at the trip. Are you putting any of these 3 in?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Serangoon, actually. I've got him on top. Look, he's a horse that, for me, looks like he's been crying out for ground. He finishes off his races strongly. And look, the best part of this race is right at the end there. And Super Contented sort of had really slow sectionals in front, and he finished off really strongly. I liked Mr. Aladdin before he came in, so I do like Serangoon.
Okay, and the last replay is over the 2,200 metres from last week. Now, this is an extended racing Class 4, this one. So the replay is from a Class 5 race, Happy Hero and Palace Pal.
Yeah, look, the thing with Palace Pal was I thought this was his race, and he was a little bit disappointing in this. I'm going to put Happy Hero, though, in. He's a horse that, again, looks like a real star. And of the two, he's the one that sort of ran on the best. And another couple of hundred metres, well, and even another 50 metres, he might have won that race.
He was certainly closing very quickly. So that's a look at the replays, but you're with the Goon.
With the Goon, Serangoon on top. I think the 2,200 metres looks absolutely ideal for this horse. Sharp and Bright, we saw him in that same race as Romantic Fantasy and wedged in between their Happy Hero. So 4, 8, 11 and 3.
That is the distance race. Race number 2 over the 2,200 metres. Third race spins up. Another Class 5 event upcoming here, but this one is over the 1,650 metres, and we've got Courier Magic on the class drop. He's had a trial too since we've last seen him. Superb Move draws a gate. Daily Trophy raced on Sunday. Comes back onto the turf. The blinkers are off. Happy Hood blinkers off. Cheek pieces on. We haven't seen him since New Year's Day. Happy Jai Jai is a 3-time course and distance winner. Medic Elite hasn't had a start for 4 weeks, but he has had a trial. Chiron's a last start winner, carries an extra £4, and Mr. Arm down the bottom wears a hood once again. Mr. Arm also has pace, Paul, as does Faithful Trinity, and Superb Move's going to get a great run. Happy Jai Jai goes forward too.
Yeah, so all those 3 like to go forward. Superb Move, as you say, he's drawn wide his last 3, he's drawn 1, so he'll get a great run. Fox Hunter Way likes to race quite handily. Choice of Us, Medic Elite will get a nice run midfield there. Courier Magic's up and trip and downgraded, and Chiron, he came from last when he won last start.
We start though with a Superb Move. Dennis Ship fresh off a good week as far as results go. Karis Teton riding in great form, Paul. This is a Class 4 race where he's a little wider turning for home, and that's been the case because he's been luckless with barrier draws. Suddenly
he comes into Class 5, draws ideally, and barrier number 1 looks absolutely ideal for him. He won't know what that white thing is on the inside because he's drawn wide his last 3 starts and still run really well. 14, 11, 11 at his last 3. So with a really good run, I think he's going to be tough to beat in this.
That's a good start for the replays around Superb Move. Now, Medic Elite, a month away from the track. He won't know himself. He did have that trial up at Chung Fa. He ran 5th, and it was a very quiet trial. What about him? I guess for him, First up.
Yeah, it's hard when you say that he's first up when he's had 20 starts already this season. No, 9 starts, sorry. He's only had 9. He had 20 last season. So he's been a very busy horse, has Medical Elite. But look, he runs well. And Jenny always says, every time she sees him, he always takes his racing well. So he's like a prize fighter. So, look, I'm going to include him.
Yep, he's racing very competitive. You can't knock him for that. Chiron, Paul, only won the 2 races, both of them on the all-weather. There's a bit of form around the first race in this replay with Regency, Happy Star, Big 2, Charming Steed, etc. in this replay. Can he go again, or you want to wait for the all-weather and a bit of a space between wins?
Yeah, exactly what you said. Look, his runs have been very good on the all-weather. He runs on the turf, but not as well, and he got the race perfectly run to suit here, and this was his race, I thought. So, yeah, look, I didn't put him in then.
Okay, that is him winning over Charming Steve there a couple of weeks ago. We are going to the selections now, and who do you like?
Got to go with Superb Move. He's drawn ideally now in barrier number 1, and I think Dennis Yep can have a good night. Medical Elite, Fox Hunter Way, another one who should get a really nice run, 3 back on the roll. And one that we haven't talked about, Courier Magic. Now, he's done nothing here in Hong Kong, but he's been racing over the 12 and the 1400. He steps up to 1650, being by Savabeel, and he's been downgraded. So this is his opportunity to improve. He'll be a big, massive price, but I just want to put him in on a minor line. 2, 7, 10, 1.
And race number 3 is the first leg also of the early treble. Race number 4 is over the 1200 metres. It is a Class 4 event, and Beauty Infinity is at the top of the book, having his 4th career outing. Our lucky glory's now with Chris So. Shadow roll comes off him. Travel Golf is minus the blinkers. The visor goes on. Youth Power has a tongue tie added. Running Boy and Super Joy and Fun both on debut, and both have had 3 trials. Divine Era's moved stables. He's now with Casper Founds. Northern Beast has the blinkers off, and Bogos down the bottom has the hood coming off. As far as speed here, Paul, Divine Era, his best form has been over 1400 at Sha Tin, but he might get an opportunity first up at Happy Valley here for the new stable. Yeah,
there's no real leader, and he's drawn nicely in 12, so I think they'll be positive on him. Running Boy can go forward. Travel Golf, he might be a little bit closer where there's not too much pace. I thought Beauty Infinity will get a lovely run from barrier 6. He'll be a lot closer than he was last start, as will Po On Way.
Brenton Abdallah is our man in race number 4, talking Travel Golf. Brenton, Travel Golf in race number 4, surely he's due a win, isn't he?
He's due a win. He's been consistent enough, so hopefully Wednesday night can be his day.
2 seconds from his last 3 starts from decent draws, and you come up with another good barrier this week.
Yeah, look, I think a barrier is very important for him. You've just got to get him to switch off and do things right. And a couple of times he's drawn wide, he's had to be dragged back too far. And I think from a soft draw, you can just park somewhere just behind the speed, or just another pair back. And if you get him in a good rhythm, then he's always thereabouts.
Has he only got a short, sharp sprint on him, or it's just a case of too much ground to make up when he does draw wide?
I think he's only got a short little sprint on him, but at the same time, he's loomed up a couple of times and hasn't got the job done. So he probably just lacks that little bit of confidence at the moment. So I'm hoping he can get that little bit of winning feeling back there on Wednesday.
He's had a trial up at Chung Fa. You didn't go up to ride him in that trial. He did look a little bit keen during the run.
He can be a little bit like that. Can be a little bit, head up and that. He's like that at home when you gallop him. So got a few little quirks. I think the visor goes on as well. So we're just, Dennis is tinkering around with the gear, and hopefully we found the right gear there on, coming up.
Travel Golf is that horse. Beauty Infinity, Paul. We move on to him. He was a really good winner 2 starts ago. Then he ran 6th and carried extra weight behind Happy Trio. He's got extra weight again this week, a couple of extra pounds, but can he bounce back?
I think he can. I think it was more the way the race was run rather than the weight he had to carry, because he drew barrier number 8, and as such, he just had to be a little bit further back than he probably would have liked. You can see him finish. They didn't go fast in this race. He got bumped there, and he finished off the race really strongly, I thought. He wasn't too far away, so I think he can bounce back in this.
That's a good report for Beauty Infinity. You've had some time for this horse in the past too. Po On Way, who went about his best race, was this one 2 starts ago over the 1200 metres. he finds the line very strongly in this replay.
Yeah, he's the Quinella horse for me. Now, he did finish off really nicely in this race, and look, I think Happy Valley might be his go. We've seen him finish off quite strongly in a few of his races as well. So he's a horse that seems to be suited by the Valley, and as you say, you can see this last little bit, he really finished off nicely. So it was a good run.
Ernest Feeling's been in great form, and Super Eagle, who ran second in that race, just keeps on running placings. Now, Super Joy and Fun's had 3 trials. He won his first 2. Just really had no early speed in this one, but the further they went, the better he looked, and the winner of this trial is Tomodachi Kokoro.
Yeah, look, he's a horse that does get back. He's been slightly slow away in a couple of his trials, and on debut, you just don't want to do that here at Happy Valley because you could end up being spat out the back. He's drawn 9, so I expect him to go back, but there's obviously some ability there because you can see him running on nice enough, as you say. So, look, I'm happy to watch him just because he does a couple of things wrong at the start.
And Jerry Chow rode him in that trial. He will partner him too for his race night debut, but it's the one horse to bounce back for you.
Yeah, Beauty Infinity for me. I'm going to go with him. I think he can bounce back, and he looks a good bet in this race. Poem Way, the toughest to beat. Put Divine Era in from the new stable. He's going to be in the right place in the front, and Travel Golf will be close up as well. So a nice race, but I went with the 111.93.
And that 4th race is also the first leg of Wednesday night 6 Up. It's preview time for race number 5 and the 5th over the 1650 for the Class 4s. Lavero improved when he came to the turf first time last time. Dragon Star better behind Win-Win Fighter when second. He's had a good season too. Gallant Crown, he's a 5-time winner course and distance. Win-Win Fighter is a horse that's a last start winner, carries an extra £2 for it. Chateau La Pêche is on debut. Casapapa's won a trial since his last start. Sturdy Ruby's placed 4 from 6 course and distance. And Amazing Boy is on a 7-day backup, but is also from his last winning mark. Dragon Star, Paul, he's going to go forward again.
Yeah, that's the way he races. Lavero was a most improved run from him, and he'll sit on the pace. I think Galvanic can be a lot closer from a good draw. Gallant Crown might just have to work to get across. Chateau La Pêche, bred for a lot further, this horse, but he has shown a little bit of pace in his trials, and Reach Gold will go back.
The Quinella horses in this race, Win-Win Fighter and Dragon Star, they tangle again. Sturdy Ruby runs 5th. Can Win-Win Fighter go again? Can Dragon Star turn the tables on him? Can Sturdy Ruby get amongst the money?
I've got 2 of the 3 in. I didn't mind Sturdy Ruby's run. He was a little bit balked at there as he came down, and he does like it here in Happy Valley. He's in on a place line. Dragon Star, you know what you're going to get with him. He's going to be in the front, and he can be hard to run down. I left Win-Win Fighter out just because of the fact he hasn't put 2 together in the past.
Okay, so Win-Win Fighter out, the other 2 go in. You mentioned Lavero during the speed map improving on the turf. Here is the second. This was over the 1650. He was beaten 2 lengths behind Simply Maverick, and he's had a pretty quiet trial since this last start placing.
I like this horse. I thought this was a really good run from him. Now, Simply Mavericks, it just keeps winning, right? So he's gone out and won again, and you can see Lavero was well clear of anything else in this race, so a really nice run from him. He's definitely improved. He looks more of a turf horse than an all-weather horse, that's for sure.
He certainly does. Lavero. Casapapa, he's been up to Chung Fa. He's trialled well, which is not the first time we've seen him do that. We've seen him run on. He's got a good draw. Can he figure here, or he'll go home a 17-start maiden?
Well, I've got him going home as a 17-start maiden, but I am going to put him in. I'll just put him in on the very minor line because he can run the odd good race. He does trial well. And his last start, there was something there because he did run on off a slow pace. So he is capable. He's getting down to a rating now where surely he can be competitive.
And Jerry Chow rides him for Benno Young. But you gave a good rap to Lavero there. You're going a bit of love?
Going with a bit of love, actually. Yeah, I have got Lavero on top, son of Lord Kanaloa. And I just really liked his turf run. Sturdy Ruby, Dragon Star coming out of that same race, and Casapapa. We've talked about all 4. 110.27.
And that's the first leg of the triple trio is race number 5. And race number 6 now, and this race has a Very consistent horse who's looking to break through after a run of placings in Super Eagle. We'll get to him shortly. Dream Pursuer's a last start winner, carries an extra £7. Party Warrior's a two-time course and distance winner. We've got Mr. Fox having his first start at Happy Valley. No trials there. Savvy Elegance, he's had 6 trials ahead of his race night debut. Hero Warrior with the tongue tie going on. Super Axiom has a tongue tie re-added. Super Eagle has placed 7 from 10 this season. And Zach Purton rides him for Chris So. But Super Axiom, Paul, he'll lead, but the 1200's a big worry.
It is. It was an easy speed map, this one, because Happy Fat Cat likes to go forward as well, but he hasn't got the Super Axiom speed, so he won't be able to cross him, I wouldn't have thought. See You Again can go forward. Dan Attack, I think, will be a little bit closer. Tottenham, he shouldn't be far away. Mr. Fox went forward last time, so if he does, there's a danger of him being trapped wide. I thought Hero Warrior ran on a little bit for over 1,000, maybe slightly improved run from him.
Derek Long rides him for a Benno Jung Hero Warrior. But we start with winning form. Dream Pursuer had promised to do this time and time again at the trials and came to race day 11 times and hadn't been able to get the job done. He finally won over the 1,400 metres, so he comes back in trip. He heads to Happy Valley for the second time. How have you assessed his chances?
Look, it was a nice win from him. There's no question. As you say, he definitely deserved this win. It's just how he's going to handle Happy Valley now, because his win here has been at Sharton. He's only been here once before and didn't feature in the places. So with the big weight, 135, I was just happy to watch him.
So watch on Dream Pursuer. Super Eagle, so consistent. Another placing this time. Have you got him in on a minor line?
I have. You have to, really, don't you?
Yep.
Because he's so consistent. But he just can't seem to get his nose in front. Look, he's drawn 10, so he's going to go back once again. Zach will stick with him. He'll ride him once again. But look, I've got him in. Look, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put him on top. I reckon he can win it. There we go.
Really?
I've changed my numbers. He's on top.
An executive decision here on the spot.
There we go.
That's what we like.
Yep.
Keep the punters guessing. See You Again had an excuse last time where he raced wide. He's been up to Chung Fa and he's run third at the trials there behind Super Joy and Fun, who of course we see earlier on in the program. He is a pretty consistent horse. Another one around the minor money, more so than winning, is See You Again.
Yeah, so See You Again. He's another one, as you say. He should get a nice run. He's drawn nicely. He's from barrier number 5. He'll get that good run in behind. But again, he was a bit disappointing last time, and he's won, but he's again he disappoints a little bit this time. This horse.
Well, after that amazing news you've come up with halfway through the preview for race number 6, Super Eagle's going to win.
Yeah, changed my mind, put him on top. Like, he's been so consistent. It's not an overly strong race. He'll come down the outside and I think he can win. So he's on top to beat Party Warrior. He's a well-rated horse now, but again, he's another one that's been very disappointing recently. Dan Attack, I thought, was a better run from him, and Hero Warrior. It's not a strong race, so I think Super Eagle will get his chance. Here we go, 11, 3, 12 and 7.
He goes home a winner for Paul, and race 6 does Super Eagle for Zach Person and Chris So. Class 3 races all the way home from race number 7. The first of the Class 3s is the 1650 metre version, and Eason is on the class drop Rocket Spade. He's first up for the season, but has placed a 2 from 4 course and distance. All Beauty hasn't missed top 4 in 5 starts all season. Loyal Baby has the hood coming off. Sixth Generation is a 3-time course and distance winner. We've got Aestheticism switching across to Happy Valley for just the 4th time in his career. 18 Palms is pretty consistent. We go down towards D-Star, who raced wide at Shartin last start, and Absolute Sunshine is eligible for the top of Class 4. Tourbillon Prince, Paul, he's got a good record over the 1650 and will get another opportunity to add to that.
Yeah, he'll lead. There's no question. He likes to lead. Lucky 8's been up and trip now. It's his 2nd time over 1650. He'll go forward. 18 Palms, when he draws well, he races well, and he's drawn nicely in 6. I think he can sort of go forward there. Eason's a well-rated horse. When he drops down into this sort of grade, I know it's extended rating band, he generally performs really well, and US Constitution won't be too far away.
All Beauty is in our first replay. He's almost impossible to leave out of certainly multiples with the way he's racing. What about Lucky 8 also, Paul? He's having just his 2nd start over the 1650.
I don't know if it's totally ideal, the 1650 for him, especially from a wide draw. He had his opportunity here, didn't he? And he only sort of finished 7th. Look, a good run from All Beauty though. He was last with about 200 to go, and you can see him really making up really good ground down the outside. So unfortunately, he's drawn wide once again. But as you say, he's one that definitely has to go in.
That is our first replay. The second one features the likely leader in the race in Torbjorn Prince. He leads for home here. 18 Palms follows him through. Another honest run also from All Beauty, and there's 3 others that finish behind them.
Yeah, look, I liked this horse 18 Palms in this race. He's been racing pretty well recently. He's drawn nicely in 6. He should get a really nice run just in behind. So he goes in. He's the one I'm actually going to go with, 18 Palms. The other horse, Torbjorn Prince, goes in on a minor line as well because he is consistent. He does keep fighting, Torbjorn Prince.
Our final replay is Rocket Spade. He has placed first up in the past. Casper's given him plenty of trials to prepare for this resumption, and Lyle Hewitson rides. He's no stranger to 1650. He's placed 6 from 18 throughout his career.
He is. He just couldn't get his nose in front of this horse, and he looked like he had won a couple of times last season. He was nosed out of it. Had some quite good form towards the back end. As you say, he's been placed fresh up in the past. So, look, he brings another dimension into this race. I didn't quite get him in. I was happy to watch him with the 133. But, look, he's done everything well here. And, as you say, he's had all those trials.
He has. So that is a breakdown of the horses in race number 7. What are your top 4?
Going to go with 18 Palms on top. I think he'll get a perfect run just in the trail. All Beauty will have to overcome that wide draw. Eason... look, he's well rated. He's 1 off 84. He's down to this 81 rating now. And Torbjorn Prince. He loves Happy Valley Easton as well. 9, 5, 1 and 3.
And that is race number 7. It is the first leg of the late treble. Race number 8, the first division of the Class 3 1200 metres, and we see them as follows. Capital Delight, who was a winner on the All Weather 2 starts ago. Toronado Phantom, he was 8th behind Capital Delight 2 starts ago on the All Weather. Pacifiers come off the grey. Ace 1 has the Shadow Roll-Off. He's had 2 trials since his last start. Leadox and Glorious Journey are both on debut in Hong Kong. Champion Method has the cheek pieces off and the blinkers going on. And Street Conqueror did place course and distance 2 starts ago. Keith Young rides him for Tony Cruz. Looking at the speed here, Paul, it's Healthy who runs to the top.
Yeah, he likes to go forward. Watch Buddy always likes to be close up. Glorious Journey is a newcomer. He's gone forward in his trials. Only a little chap. He's only 1,011 pounds. Ace 1, he'll need some luck from his wide draw. Golden Darcy went back last time, but I think he'll try and be a little bit close. He didn't race too badly last time.
We start, though, with the rider of Watch Buddy. It is Harry Bentley. Harry, Watch Buddy looks to be a horse that's taken a real liking to the Valley.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's an ultra-consistent type, and he's done nothing but improve.
It was a gutsy win last time, beating a smart one in Raging Blizzard.
Yeah, it was. He got a little bit sort of held up in running around the top bend, but found a lot when I asked him when the gaps came, and yeah, he put the race to bed well in the end.
You've had 2 rides on the horse for a win and a second, so you must have a pretty high opinion of him.
Yeah, I really liked him when I first ever sat on him last season, and he's done nothing but improve from that, and as I say, incredibly consistent. So obviously I'm going in with high hopes.
Plus this week is a good draw. Negative though, an extra 9 pounds on his back.
Yeah, that is obviously something to have to consider, and you know, he's quite a good sized horse. He's not overly tall, but he's quite stocky, so he should handle the weight okay, but it's a factor to consider. I will say though that the draw is going to help him in 2. He can just bounce out and sit somewhere behind the pace.
Rode him in work last Thursday. His work as good last Thursday as it was leading into last race?
Yeah, I'm very happy with how he's going. He felt great in the morning, and as I say, he's quite a precocious type, and he seems to handle his work well.
Back to the weekend, a win on Sunlight Power and a much-deserved win after that 3rd leading into that race.
Yeah, you know, obviously I felt like I had a bit of a tough run on his last start, having to go wide, and he's not the most straightforward type under pressure. He just hangs in. So with the better draw this time and a nice split through the middle, he put the race to bed, and he's a type that's probably got a little bit more up his sleeve. So looking forward to him next time.
After Harry, Paul, we move on now to some replays featuring Capital Delight and also Toronado Phantom, both coming back to Happy Valley, and a course that both of them have raced well at.
They have. Toronado Phantom's a very versatile horse, but I just wonder if he's had his win. He did win 3 starts ago, and his 2 runs haven't been too bad after that, but you can see him just running on the grey. But a nice run here, I thought, from Capital Delight. He's a winner at Happy Valley in the past, and I thought he ran on really strongly here, so it was a nice run from him.
It's a good ride for Karis Teeton. Capital Delight out of our first replay. Replay number 2 is Healthy. Now, he's out of the Pierrong stable. He's had a good season, 5 starts for 3 wins so far, coming off a last start 9th behind co-partner Ambition. This is a trial, a pretty quiet trial from him since.
Yeah, he moves out from 7 to 9, and he's a horse that does like to go forward. He was pushed out a little bit in this trial, so I don't really know about the trial, but I just wonder if he's done his winning. He's had his 3 wins already this season, so that was just a little concern I had.
Right, we'll just leave Healthy right there and move on to where's Champion Method at? He's been to Chung Fa, he's trialled well, he gets a £5 claim for Angus Chung, he draws barrier number 8, and he comes off a last start 10th behind Bonza Perla.
Yeah, look, he's been a little bit disappointing recently, this horse. The blinkers might be able to spark him up. He might go forward. I mean, he led in this trial, so maybe they'll try something completely different with him as well. You can see he wasn't really pushed out at all, and he ran nicely. The pressure wasn't on him, but look, he looked really good earlier in the career, winning those, went bang, bang, didn't he? And thought he was going to be an opportunity to go through the grades, but he's just disappointed a bit since.
He has, and that was Charmander on his outside that was just being pushed a little bit to get past him. But Watch Buddy for you again.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Watch Buddy again. He's going well, this horse, and he did win fair and square last time. Capital Delight, Street Conqueror's horse we haven't talked about. He's a horse that gets back. He'll be running on along with Northern Beaches, who is a winner down the straight 1,000 here this season. 4, 1, 11 and 6.
It is a race-to-race double for Paul for jockey Harry Bentley across races 7 and 8. And the final race at Happy Valley on Wednesday night is race number 9. We run 1,200 metres for the Class 3s. Again, Bonza Perla, she had blood in the trachea last time. Raging Blizzard goes from gate 3 to gate 12. Beauty Glory goes from the 1,000 to the 1,200. Wings of War is now with Douglas White. Pacifiers and the Cowls and the tongue tie come off. The blinkers go back on. Sing Dragon has his first start in Hong Kong, won over 1,200 metres at Rosehill and Newcastle in New South Wales. Golden Title has his first start in Hong Kong. He was Eridor for Mark Walker, won over the 1,200 at Matamata and Solar Up. The blinkers off, the cheek pieces and the tongue tie go on. Beauty Glory, Paul, barrier number 6 and early pace.
Yeah, look, he raced over 1,000 last time, so he steps up to the 1,200. I thought he could get across and lead. The 2 first starters in Hong Kong, Sing Dragon, Golden Title, both showing a bit of speed. Sugar, he doesn't like to lead, but he should get himself into a nice position. Wings of War, back to Chain of Glory. Raging Blizzard's the query horse because he's drawn 12. If he goes forward, there is a chance he could be caught wide.
We're going to hear from Karis Teeton right now. He's the rider of Heroic Master. Karis back on board Heroic Master this week. Such an honest horse this season.
Yeah, Mark, he's been really good this season, this horse. All his run, has been really good over 1,000 meter. The interesting part now, he goes over 1,200, and let's hope he can sort of keep that same form.
That's the question mark with him in the 1,200 metres. He's going better now than he was last time that he raced the trip. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's true. I think, like you mentioned earlier, he's definitely running better this season. So, I think he just took a bit of time to sort of, get used of the racing in Hong Kong. But the way he's been racing in his last few runs, it sort of indicates also maybe the 1,200 now might suit him. So could be a good option.
You've had no luck with the draw out in barrier number 10, but you do have Raging Blizzard drawn in 12. Is that a good thing for you and Heroic Master?
To be honest, especially he's going to the 1,200 after a long time. I doubted that, we can be jumped and go forward. I think you will try to get him comfortable first and hope he can show that same finish he's got over the 1,000 meters. So, yeah, like you mentioned, Raging Blizzard is on the outside. He's going to have to go forward from the draw. So if that can inject a bit of speed in the race, will be good for the back markers.
On yourself, things going well this season, 43 wins at the midpoint, you must be happy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Of course, you always want things to go smoothly and just stay in the momentum. Just appreciate all the support from the trainers and the owners.
Galaxy Patch runs on the weekend. His trial looked very good last week.
Yeah, of course, he's a very smart horse. He's doing everything right. His trial was really impressive, and he's just gonna be interesting to see him again on the weekend.
That is Karis talking all things Karis and racing in Hong Kong at the moment. Galaxy Patch runs in a really hot field on the weekend. But we need to find a winner, Paul, in race number 9 before we get there. Raging Blizzard, we heard from Karis. He's drawn out in barrier 12. Sugar Sugar, he runs third. Alfie's got a really good record on the horse. Golden Samurai, just not sure where he's at, and Bonzapurla had an excuse.
He definitely did. Look, I'm going to include Sugar Sugar, Raging Blizzard, because they're both running really well at the moment, and they were there to fight it out. But Watch Buddy, who I think can win earlier in the card, did nut both of them here. I thought it was Golden Samurai, as you say. I'm not sure where he's at, but he did run on a little bit there, and he has got a light weight.
Okay, that is our second last replay to look at. This is one of the newcomers. This is Sing Dragon around Happy Valley. He's had the 3 trials since he's been here. Lol Hewitson takes the ride, and Mark Newnham is his Hong Kong trainer.
Yeah, so he put himself right on the pace here. I think he'll do something similar from a good draw from barrier number 2 on Wednesday night. And look, it was a nice enough trial from him. He wasn't really let go. There wasn't too much pressure on in the trial, though, but he did what he had to do. And he's had the 3 trials. He's 1186 pounds.
That is a breakdown of the horses in the last race. Who do you like?
Well, I thought Beauty Glory could lead, and if Raging Blizzard doesn't come across and take him on, he could get a really cheap lead, Beauty Glory, and he's won off a lot higher rating in the past, and he's coming back to 1200. Last 3 starts he's drawn wide, so I think he'll get his opportunity at a price. So he's on top, Sugar Sugar, Raging Blizzard, and then Golden Samurai, but happy to look at number 4 each way.
There it is. That is the preview for Happy Valley on Wednesday night. We're on the B course. We've got a 9-race program, and the first gets underway at 6:40.